I'm a bit shocked. Everybody. Welcome, fellow painters and decorators of the internet. I'd like to say interweb, don't I? Today, you've probably read that title. Water-based stain blockers for watermarks. What's the best one? I think I might be telling you which is the best one. We're going to be talking about Zinsser Bullseye, and it's the 123 Plus. Now don't get confused with 123. This is the next one. This is the 123 Plus. This is the one that really should take over from 123, because I can't even see a point of having 123, because the stuff that this does, and if in doubt, always read the side of the tin. This is doing a lot more than what the 123 does. This is your grip primer. This is also stopping your stain blocking, some tanning. Don't forget, read the side, because certain tanning might be better with bin, which is the red tin, and then other things you might be better with the cover stain, which is the yellow tin. So you've got a blue tin that's water based, red tin that's shellac based, you know, methylated spirits, wash out methylated spirits, and then the yellow tin is yellow, which is an oil base which you wash out with white spirit. Well, we're not talking about those ones today. We're talking about 123 Plus, and we're talking about it because I've got a bit of a nasty ceiling where there's been a nasty water leak. Do you want to see that water leak? I'll show you. Right, I'm here. I'm going to spin the camera up because the water leak's on the ceiling. That's normally where water leaks are. Right, so I'm going to spin you up. Now I want you to be looking at the coving. Can you see that there? Just across that coving there, which is across there, that's a bad water leak. And then if I zoom all the way across the ceiling like that, don't even ask about that chopping out and chiseling out where the electrician's been. And I'm not even going to say the decorator will sort it, because you know what, the decorator isn't sorting that. The decorator has rang the plasterer up to come and sort that. Not a miracle worker. But anyway, we're looking at these water stains on the ceiling and how we're going to rectify it. Well, I'm going to rectify it by putting 123 Plus on, because 123 Plus, it does what it says on the tin. Blocks water stains. Now, I hate using the word old school. It's not a word I like using, old school, because it's nothing about being old school. But if you know about painting and decorating, watermarks, how would you get rid of a watermark on a ceiling if you went back, well, particularly when I was at college 30 odd years ago? If you got watermarks on a ceiling like that, and pretty bad, what would you put on it? You put an oil-based undercoat over it to block it, because if you think there's a water-based problem, i.e. the watermark is coming through and it's on an emulsion, and it comes through and it stains through the emulsion. So you've got to put a barrier to stop it. Well, water's not going to get through, and I mean water as in water stains. Water stains aren't going to get through an oil-based barrier. So it's a bit unusual that we're going to use a water-based paint to stain block stains on a ceiling from a watermark. Will it work? I'm hoping so. I know it'll work because I've actually used it on another ceiling on this house, on this project, where there was slight watermarks, and I sprayed them out with this. I've got my sprayer and I gave it 3 coats and it stopped it, and I painted the ceiling with the white and nothing came through. Now, as you know, if you tried to paint that watermark with an emulsion, within, I'd say probably within 20 minutes of that ceiling drying, that watermark would be coming through. So I'm going to do for you today a test to see how good this is on these. Really, I mean, you'll see it's all the way along there and it comes all the way down that side there. You see that? They're quite bad. So I'm going to give it 3 coats because it's going to dry quite quick. We've got a warm environment. Weather in the UK at the minute's a bit mental. Stuff's drying quick. So I'll give it 3 coats by brush. You'd probably get away, if you read the instructions, probably 2, but to be on the safe side, because that's quite a dark water stain, I'm going to give it 3. Now, as I say, easily within 20 minutes to 30 minutes, if that watermark is going to penetrate through a water-based paint, which is this, it would do, and I would know whether it's actually going to hold it or not. So yeah, let me get some paint out, let me get my camera set up. You can see me doing a bit of painting with a brush. I'll speed up and speed through it so you can go blah, 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 like a Benny Hill. And then after 3 coats we'll assess it to see what it's actually like, and does it work? Is it a good stain blocker? I think it will work. I think this will be a brilliant stain blocker, and if I say a water-based product that's stain blocking watermarks, fantastic, because what can you do? You can wash your brush out in water, warm water, bit of washing up liquid, job's a good one. So yeah, see you in a bit. I'll just get a bit of this out and start doing a bit of painting. There you have it. I've just done 1 coat over those watermarks. Now, I've gone quiet. I'm looking at my watermarks up there. I don't know whether you can see. And they're starting to stain through already. Now, I did say I'm going to give it 3 coats, because I'm hoping that the first coat starts to coat it and layer it. Second coat, bit better build up, and I'm hoping the 3rd coat will body up and get rid of these watermarks. Now, they are quite bad watermarks, and as I said earlier, there's the red bin, which is the shellac based, which you thin with meths or wash your brush out with meths. There's the yellow cover stain, which is oil based, and use white spirit for cleaning your brush out and thinning. Now, both of those can stop watermarks like this. But our experiment today is trying the 123 Plus, because it says it stops stains from water, watermarks, stain blocking for water. Now I'm hoping that these actually get held off by 3 coats. As I said a few minutes ago, I have used it on a watermark on this job, but it wasn't as bad as this, and I gave it 3 spray coats, and that's held off. I've not noticed it coming through, but as I'm looking at the moment, I'll eat my words if that holds off. I'll eat my words. And this is a proper test, because that's a bad watermark, and I'm using a product that should hold that back. And I'm using a water-based product that's supposed to be holding it back, because when I paint the ceiling will be water-based. So I don't want to put 2 different materials, i.e. a methylated spirit-based bin or an oil-based cover stain on the surface for then to be putting a water-based over the top. My idea that having a water-based stain blocker will fit hand in glove with a water-based paint going over the top. So let's give it a bit of drying time, and we'll come back to it, and I'll do it again, and then I'll come back and give you the review. I'm a bit shocked everybody. Since I've seen you, that first coat's dried off. It's stained. Can't even describe how it's stained. It just bled through like I'd not put anything over it. So I'm going to say I'm shocked. I thought there'd be a bit more obliteration than that for that first coat. But true to my word, and you know I'm like true to my word, I've given it another coat. So I'm still sweating like a PIG, but I'll just show you where I am with it at the moment. Can you see that there? There's a slight bit of staining still coming through, but it has nearly got it. And in this corner here, just the heavy watermark. Forget where the plaster is plastered. I'm trying to obliterate that. But there's a bit in that corner that's just bleeding through slightly. But the stuff underneath it that was quite bad, It's nearly gone. Same with up here. Lovely units have gone in. You see where my wet sealing edge is up across here. Those marks have nearly gone. That's 2 coats. So I'm fingers crossed 3 coats might just hold it off. So somebody who knows about Zinsser paint and this 123 Plus, is this a proper encapsulating paint that the first coat goes on and it puts a film barrier over it, and the second goes on and starts layering it, and then your third layer obliterates everything? Let's hope so, because if it doesn't, this product doesn't work, and I'll be going back to, can I put a picture in there, a polycell stain block rattle can, because that's the only thing that I've ever found that works for watermarks, is a stain block polycell rattle can. Give it 2 coats and nothing seems to go through that. Graffiti, wax, crayons, marker pens, watermarks, that works. But I want to know whether Zinsser 123 Plus also works. Hope so, because at the minute I'm a bit shocked, in a good and a bad way. I'm going like that. I'm sitting on the fence at the moment, so yeah, let's see if it works for the third. So I'm ready to give a bit of a third coat to these stains. Now, still showing through a bit, but if you've read this side of the can, what the paint does is locks it in, and you'll probably still see the stain in the paint film. But then when you finish it with your high opacity paint, your emulsion, and I'll be using Tikkurila Anti-Reflex 2 coats of that should hold it back. Now, I've used a brush on this. It does say you can use a roller and don't over apply it, and it says you can also spray it as well. But because I'm going around a coving and I don't want to get my sprayer out because I've only got little areas, it's being brushed, hence why I'm giving it 3 coats. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that these stains that aren't looking as bad as they did do when I did the first coat, and even second coat, they're not too bad. You can just see them slightly coming through. I'm hoping what it's going to do is trap it all in, and then when I come to do my finish coats sealing, they'll be sealed. So job's good. What I'm going to do now, set the camera up, I'm going to give the third coat so you see me doing that, and then we'll stand back and see how it looks. Do I think it's working? Quite possibly. If it doesn't work when I've got my sealing paint on, what will I do? Well, I've got a coat of Zinsser Primer Finish, which is an oil-based paint in one. It's like a multi-surface paint, does everything, stinks, but it does sort out problem services. So that's always the fall back on paint we can use. But I'm optimistic. I think it will hold off, and I think the third coat will make a difference. So we'll start up there and work our way around. So yeah, bear with me. Let's get set up. There we have it. We've given it 3 coats, and I must say it hasn't covered bad. So my conclusion on this is 3 coats brushed, and I've used a nice 3-inch brush. That's Eco Union brush, if anybody wants to know. Nice Eco Union brush, and I've brushed it. Now, I said earlier, it does say to use a roller or spray, but we've not done that because we've had to just do the coving, so I'm not going to get all that kit out. But I will say that's actually not gone bad, and we'll give it a thumbs up because it is stain blocking it back. It's holding it off, and as the side of the tin says, you still probably will see that watermark staining because it's probably encapsulated. I'll use that word. So for now, I'm going to go, yeah, I'm impressed with that product. It is holding the water stain back. If it if it starts showing through, then we'll have to readdress it, but I've got every confidence in that. Have you tried it? Have you had any experience with this water-based stain blocking for watermarks? Let me know, comments, smash the like as well. But it's not done bad, and obviously if it doesn't work, I'll be doing a follow-up video telling you how it is. But no, for now, let's call it over and out. We've had a good afternoon doing this, and I'm quite optimistic. I think it works. It's a good product. Not giving it an endorsement yet until I know it's all right when we've painted the ceiling, but for now, 3 coats, it's done really well. So thanks for listening to me. I'm going to say click these links just here, are the other videos and playlists, and thanks very much for listening.